a long drive home from the clinic. I mean it. I will never talk to her again. And I'm a dick. The worst kind of dick. The battle between the senses begins. The dissonance is like lightning across my vision. Reality is warped and twisted. Ever have a panic attack? For some people it can happen once in their lifetime, say during a life or death situation. For others, like myself, it can happen at a moment's notice with no warning. I should have seen the signs coming. But she made me. You make your own decisions, you fool. It's not my fault. I can't catch my breath, and even though I've been taught how to manage this, sometimes it doesn't work. I do not do what I ought to. I take slow breaths through my nose and out through pursed lips. But soon I abandon this effort to control it, and I lose it. I'm suffocating. With each giant panicked breath, I'm making it worse. I hadn't learned then the biology of what was actually going on in my body during a panic attack. That the more oxygen I take in, the more my body feels choked off, sending signals to my brain that the CO2 level in my blood is too low. CO2 is actually what triggers regular breathing. So in effect, my body thinks it's suffocating, even though it's not. But I didn't learn any of that shit until a decade later. I can't stress enough the benefits of a good education, which at the time, I lacked. My face and hands begin to go numb. I can feel them tingling at the wheel. But I'm still driving. I'm on the highway, farther and farther away from all that anguish. You're a bad person. You fucked up, you fuck up. I'm thinking that what I should do is slam my car into a guardrail. I'm hoping that my car will flip end over end and splatter my crushed and broken body everywhere. I want to die. There's a disassociation that comes with this that I can't fully describe, where it feels like your mind and your body separate. I pull in my collar as if they're hands that are choking me. I know it's lame, but I try to think of a happy place. There's only one I can think of. The lake. Our camp meeting. Where the children die in the flesh and arise in Christ. You step in. It's cold. It's always cold. You plug your nose against the looking glass and disappear. You die and then you're made anew. The pastor lifts you out, and the next breath is drawn by someone irrevocably changed. Having been on the other side, you're given a fresh slate. The place of tent revivals, where for more than 100 years, the generations here have come to give the God of antiquity his due. Who knows how many spiritually dead lay at the bottom of this lake? But any of whom who have walked there know that the dead are dead, and that they who tread these magic waters are alive in Christ. Our place. The panic is gone. There are tears that are salty, dry lines on my face. I make it home without a scratch on me, and I say that I need to get my life straight. I need to get my house in order. For days and days she keeps calling. I don't answer her. I tell others to tell her that I'm not home. Then suddenly the calls stop. Years later she tells me that she cried herself to sleep before giving up. I was the one that made her want to try harder. Weeks later, my sister's home from college. She spends most of her time sleeping. I don't get it. College can't be that hard, can it? She and I are 10 months apart and what you would call Irish twins. Even though she's mostly deaf, we're so close that I never had to learn to sign. Whatever we spoke was absorbed as though telepathically. She's the most accomplished of the three of us and the most intelligent. She asks me if I want to go to camp this year. She means our place, of course. I don't hesitate to say yes. I just didn't want to go alone. But I won't be a counselor. I can't be a counselor. All those kids wanting someone to look up to. I say I'm not the best example of an upright Christian these days. I'll work in the kitchen. Easy, laid back. Yeah. Cushy days, cooking, cleaning rooms, and swimming. Maybe I'll make some new friends. Maybe I'll find my Christian heart again. The drives to northern Maine are some of the most memorable trips I've ever taken. And I mean northern Maine. Not a day trip to Old Orchard Beach, but northern Maine, where there's nothing but a sea of trees for hundreds of miles, and all you see are logging trucks on the left. It's crazy. And you got half a mind to turn back because you think you've reached the Arctic. Sometimes you can actually see the northern lights while you're there. Ever wonder where you get the good Maine potatoes? I know where the common accent is not quite discernible. They say Bar Harbor instead of Bar Harbor. After a relaxing 8-hour drive, I'm sitting on the porch of one of the boarding houses at the camp, watching a slow storm roll in across the lake. The counselors and I are making friendship bracelets. I already have one on my ankle that a kid made. It's only half finished, but a cute gift from someone I don't want to corrupt. I think about Dana's son. What a sweet kid. We're waiting for the new young director to come so we can bless the week with the first prayer. He attended Gordon College and was very, very good at what he did. The car pulls up and the guy who gets out has brown scruffy hair to his shoulders. I'm surprised. He has a smile from ear to ear that immediately elicits the same thing from anyone viewing. He walks along the porch high-fiving everyone until he comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm Carl." I say, "Atticus." Nice. The camp president, a longtime family friend, gives a speech about bringing the children to Christ and representing the utmost in Christian values. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, no PDAs. I think about Palm Pilots. I don't think iPods were quite the fad yet. But he means, of course, public displays of affection. No, 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 no. I think about the fact that I smoke and I brought a carton for the week. I'll just sneak off, I guess. Little did I know that I wouldn't be alone. It was a small group that year, 20 kids each with their smiling faces and the same hopes I had every year as I came here as a child. That this was going to be the best week ever. That they would make memories that would last a lifetime. They've all grown up now, and I know that they did. And so it began. A week that would irrevocably change my life. The love, the song, the prayers, the church, the friends, the joys, the sorrows, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and of course, the home-baked goods. Imagine fields of baked goods that lay Wonka's factory to waste. Imagine your grandma's specialty, whatever it may be, multiplied by 1,000 and laid before you without consequence, and topped with bacon. Now that's what I'm talking about. You know me. I can't wait. Afternoons were taken off from Bible study and counseling so that the kids would swim and relax in the sun. So get this. The second afternoon I'm there, I wade into the water with the counselors chatting about their lives and other shit. They're all talking about how they're promise keepers, and I just keep my mouth shut about everything. I don't want them to judge me. I don't want to let it on even a little bit that I'm gay. But the male and female counselors are evenly paired, flirting with each other in that Christian way, so that there's distance and dissonance, meaning that they want to touch each other, but they don't. I've done what you're thinking about doing, what you dream about and apologize for the next day when you see that wet stain in the bed. The things you've been told to avoid, I've done them and I think them. You ignore these things. I know what I want. I've just got to hide it. I move back to the dock where the lifeguard's sitting. She's reading a book. She has dark black hair and stark blue eyes that keep peering at me over the book. Looking at her strangely, something clicks in my mind in that moment that I don't notice until years later. I am very good at pretending to be straight. People just assume it off the pat. I've been acting my entire life, and the act has worked so well that I bet I could scream, "I'm gay!" to everyone here, and it would only elicit laughter. They would just take it as a joke. I'm an actor. I begin to flirt with the lifeguard, even though I know I'm not supposed to, but it's harmless. It's the same as what they're doing. I splash her a little bit. She calls me a flirt with a smile and splashes back, one foot crossed over the other in the water. We're laughing and laughing. "Oh, you call that splashing, do you?" "No, I call this splashing." I splash her so her hair is soaked. She says, "Nope." I reach to the bottom of the lake and pick up a clop of soft mud and drop it in her lap. Giggling, she jumps in, saying, "You jerk!" and then washes herself off. I tell myself, "Oh, you're good. You are really good." Suddenly, from behind me, I hear, "That's not nice." And I turn. There's a camper there, no more than 9 years old, standing there in the water, with a smile I'll never forget. That smile that says, "I understand more than you think. You should never throw mud at anyone." He was watching me flirt, and possibly understood what I was doing, and at the time I was still obsessing about people meaning what they say and saying what they mean. But when coming from a child, it can't be more honest. I took it as a sign from God speaking through a child, 'cause that's how my mind worked at the time. You're not here to flirt. You're here for Jesus, and if you're worried about corrupting children, watch yourself. The boy swims away, taking God's voice with him. There's a moment standing there in the glinting sunlight where I think I might be okay. It's nice being here, always seeing signs and things.